What is going on, guys? Happy holidays. Hope everyone's having a great Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever else there is out there. In this week's weekly training vlog, you guys get to see my new training program for this little winter break I got going on, a little Minneapolis vacation, and then how I deal with holiday travel. If you guys enjoy this video while you're watching, make sure you guys drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, and then give it a share so that way this can get out to as many throwers as possible. That way I can help as many of you guys out as possible. So, get to it. Alright, my dudes, so a little late on this one because I was bulling around Minneapolis, living life as I said last vlog. It was nice to get out of the OTC for a bit and experience some winter because it really makes me appreciate my whole situation in Chula Vista. Like I said last vlog with the whole wet feet thing, doesn't really feel too bad when it's 0 degrees outside and it feels like your face is going to freeze off. So, whatever. So yeah, new program starting up. This is just like a short 2-week sort of transitional program to carry me through the holidays. Nothing crazy. I'll get back to the hard stuff in a couple weeks when I'm back in Chula Vista in the warm weather. Only throwing the 6.8K hammer this program, that's 15 pounds for all you Americans. It's been proven to be a real pain in my ass, as you guys will see later on. There is a new warm-up drill in this program that you guys have not seen before. I call it the Litvinov drill. It's this sort of wind and release forward drill rather than wind and release backwards. I call it the Litvinov drill because I got it from Litvinov Jr. And it's one of my favorites. It teaches the balance between kind of the left and the right side, and the balance between being active and being passive in the throw, something I think a lot of people get wrong. Hot take, I think the cue push, I think pushing the ball is largely misunderstood, and I think the window for pushing is much shorter than people think, and that's kind of what this drill is teaching. The goal is to kind of throw it straight down the middle, not left or right, and once you do it right, you realize how short the window for pushing is in the throw, and like I said, how much more passive you need to be and much more relaxed you need to be during the throw. Yeah, anywho, more easy turns to warm up, working some one-handed stuff back in just to see if it helps, and then back to 5 turns in the full throws, which will probably be sticking around for the next few months as I transition to heavier stuff. Hopefully that makes it a little bit easier, that way I don't just grip and rip. But yeah, nice to be back in Minneapolis. It was really nice to be in a collegiate setting again. It was very energizing, even if it was just for a few days. It was nice to just break up the monotony once again of Chula Vista. I do have to say though, I absolutely hated throwing into a net. I know I did this for 2 years back in 2016 and 2017, but I gotta say it is just not ideal. I don't know, it was hard to find my bearings in the 4 days I was here, so that's probably why it was so hard. But then also just like not seeing the feedback of the flight of the hammer and like the trajectory of the hammer made it like hard to adjust throw to throw. I didn't really realize how much I relied on that as feedback for my technique. I'm not really worried about distance this early in a program either, so I guess that was good that the net was there. Still, pain in the ass. Plus, like this lower camera angle just makes me think my throws like look way worse than they actually do. At least I hope. I don't know. I guess we'll see when we get back to Chula Vista. I don't know, as you guys can see, it's just a general struggle bus. The timing was way off after throwing the 5K last program, going from something that's 11 pounds to 15 pounds, or like I said, 5K to 6.8. That approximately 2 kilo jump is just changes rhythm a good bit and makes things much harder on me. Plenty of excuses for bad throws, but as I said last vlog, it be like that sometimes. I think that's going to be my unofficial catchphrase of these vlogs. Could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. Probably forget about it next week. Yeah, so day 1 lifting, like I said, this happened before throwing, but yeah, it was a little interesting. I am deloading this week, which times up nicely with my vacation, but things definitely did not feel like a deload, or maybe it's because when I traditionally deload, or well, I should say what I used to do when I deloaded was almost essentially nothing compared to this. I don't know, just a little bit of a different style. To be fair, the jumps did feel springy. I'm still feeling fast from last program, but cleans felt heavy because my back felt tired, obviously, from traveling. And then squats they look good. Like when I watch the video, they look good, but they still felt heavy. I guess that's just that's my problem. Squats, like anything over like 100K on squats just feels like way too heavy, and I don't want to do it like a little bitch. But once again, like I said, this deload doesn't quite feel like a deload because of fatigue from maybe, like I said, my previous slam session on Saturday, and then all the travel and stuff between, you know, now and then, or when this took place. And I guess for day 2 throwing, it was marginally better, but like not by much. Like I said, lots of compounding variables as to why this week of training wasn't going too well, but I think the biggest thing was just because my sleep schedule was off. I wasn't getting as much sleep, and I was going to bed a little bit later and waking up later too, so things were just thrown off. It was a little funky, but it was worth it. But yeah, hard to find my bearings, and was just doing my best to try to piece things together as best as possible. And despite how frustratingly bad throwing was, it was still fun to spend some time with my old teammates. Always have a good time with the Brick Squad. Burly Boy Brick Squad. You already know. But yeah, as you guys can see, the left side is still rushing a lot. Like I said, because I'm used to that 5K rhythm from last program, the hips and the left side are just going too early. And then I'm just like way too high on my legs. You can see how not bent my left leg is. It's kind of grosses me out a little bit, honestly. Once again, could be camera angle, but I don't know. Day 2 lifting, not shown, was just a nice little deload conditioning workout in the AM. In the AM, I can enunciate. And yeah, so that is that. As for day 3, had a nice Wednesday morning lift, but I did kind of fuck up because I was supposed to go throw before the lift. But instead, I slept in like a bum because I assumed throws practice was in the afternoon like the rest of the week, so my bad there. But the lift itself was, I don't know, once again, nothing special, just a little deload action. Triples on muscle snatch. Forgot to record some sets of 5 on the Z press, and then just some pen lay rows. Nothing crazy, but still feeling fatigued from this week of shenanigans. What's weird is this stuff felt heavy, but it doesn't really look too bad. Once again, kind of the situation with the squats. I guess I just gotta stop being a little bitch and just lift weights and not worry about how it feels so much, because it always usually looks better on video. So day 4 was a throwing session Thursday morning to make up for my lack of throwing on day 3. That worked out well. I still got to hit 4 days of throwing this week despite all the travel. Normally my third session of a new program is pretty good, but today was like definitely throwing, like I said, shenanigans all week. It was definitely just catching up to me. Lack of sleep. Wasn't like going crazy with the alcohol, but like had a couple drinks with like dinners and stuff here and there, and I just think all of that caught up with me. And I was just so over throwing into a net by this point too. Like the same sort of problems technically that I'm still dealing with. Lack of ring and spatial awareness. Left leg was just way too straight. Left side and hips weren't connected to the ball because the rhythm is different, as I've said like 4 times now. It's the same old story. You guys probably understand by now. There were a little bit more juice on these throws, but overall feeling was rough, and you guys can tell just by like my general displeased body language after almost every throw. And oh yeah, I am finishing up each session with heavy winds, which I did not show earlier because I just forgot to film. And this is just to help build special strength and then kind of help transition to heavier balls over the next few cycles. So day 5 and 6, I'm gonna combine these two here. Day 5 was just like a quick deload lift, nothing crazy. I was back home in Ohio, using a reverse hyper for box jumps because that's what happens when you lift in a bodybuilding gym. And then just some easy split squats and front squats. As before, despite the deload, things still felt kind of heavy due to general life fatigue and once again travel the day before. That'll get you. And that also carried over into Saturday, day 6. Throws weren't very good, and feeling just seemed to get even worse with the cold weather. So it was a big old struggle bus. So hear me out, guys. Holiday travel like this can be tough because it does feel like, at least for me, it feels like all my momentum from fall training just can be like absolutely halted. Like I have a good groove going and then I just get thrown out of it and I just kind of freak out a little bit mentally. But don't do that. I can promise you guys, if you stick to your plan during your holiday break, if you go out and get some throws and if you do some drills, if you get your lifting in, you can still make progress. You just won't see it right away. These short winter breaks, like I said, are always super frustrating for me. And in the past, I'm usually stuck throwing hammer outside in the snow, or I have to go throw weight indoors or some other weird contraption, and I usually have to drive like almost an hour each way, and then I got to pay to use facilities, and it's just a huge pain in my ass. It's super stressful. But grinding out these tougher training sessions are like 100% worth it in my opinion. Like looking back on it, you can take it from me, I've been there. And what's cool is I usually come out of the other side, usually with a training PB within a couple weeks of getting back into my routine, like when I would be back at school or when I would go back to the training center. So like I said, stick it out. Developing that grit necessary to fight through these less than ideal conditions is what it takes to succeed. So I guess get out there this winter break, get after it, and make me proud. Shoot, even tag me in your winter training posts on Insta, and I'll give you guys a shout out on my story. So let's see how that goes. I want to see who has the most grit out there. Let's see what you guys got. So, all right, so that's it for this week. Thank you guys for tuning in. I did a little bit different this week, if you guys couldn't tell. I kind of scripted the voiceover a little bit more, and then tried to fit the video to the voiceover. That way it's a little bit more productive, less rambling, more concise, a little bit more consumable for you guys. Because after all, you know, it's about you. I make these videos to help you guys out. So comment down below. I mean, let me know what you guys think of that. If you guys want me to keep doing it like that, or you just want the Sean Don rambles to just stick around, let me know. And you know, we'll see what happens from here on out. Hopefully it turns out well. If you guys did find this video beneficial, then all I ask is that you share it with just one other person. Could be a teammate, could be a coach, could be your mom, could be your dad. I don't know, random stranger. Just share it with one person. That's all I ask. That's all I want from you guys. So, all right, that's all I got for you guys. Happy holidays once again. Sean Don, peace and out until next week.